Okay, let's move on to question 3. A rope was 14 and 35 hundredths inches long. Megan cut the rope into 7 pieces of equal length. What was the length of each piece of rope in inches? Now, I don't think the problem in this problem or question was that we didn't know what operation to choose. I think it was very obvious for most students that this was a division problem. I don't think that is what tripped everyone up. She's separating the rope into equal groups. We know that if we have equal groups, and it says right there, pieces of equal length. And we know that when we have equal groups and we're separating them, like it says that she's cutting the rope, we know that we are going to divide. So we have our rope, our long rope, and she's cutting up that rope. So we're dividing 14 and 35 hundredths into 7 pieces. I think what really tripped everyone up was the process of division. What happened in the process? So let's take a look at this problem. If I write my steps out, Mom does McDonald's serve cheeseburgers, really? I need to write my multiples of 7. All the way to 9. Okay? And then I'm going to divide first. 7 cannot go into 1, so I put an X above it. Now, there's some pros and cons to using the X. The pro is it reminds us to multiply. But the con can also be in this particular, this type of problem. If we know that when 7 cannot go into 1 or 7 goes into 1 0 times, that can also help us remember to do it in the middle of the problem versus just at the beginning. So if we can remember that every time we have an X, it's actually the same thing as a 0, that might be able to help us if we have a 0 in the middle of our division problem. So let's move on. 7 can go into 14 2 times. And I need to be sure and bring my decimal up. Okay, so I've subtracted, I check. 0 goes into, or 0 is less than 7, so I can bring down. Okay, so right here, this is where students got tripped up because they thought, well, 7 cannot go into 3. So I'm going to need to bring down this 5 so that I can say that 7 goes into 35. Well, that's not what we do. It's if 7 cannot go into 3, then we, just like 7 cannot go into 1, we need to put something above the 3. We can put an X, but what would our number be? If we have an X right here, our answer can't be 2x and then another number. That's not a real number. So we need to remember that every time there's an X, that's actually a 0. Okay? So 7 goes into 3 0 times. So what do I subtract? Well, we subtract 0 times 7. 0 times 7 is 0. And then I bring down the 5. Now I can say 7 goes into 35 5 times. Okay? Remember, whenever you bring down that digit from the dividend, you're going to have that answer, that quotient digit. So whatever number you make here, that's telling you 7 can go into that number 0 times, and you're putting it over that digit that you brought down to create that number. And now we can subtract 35 and get 0, so we know we're done. Now, if you had multiplied to check, you would have seen, because a lot of kids got 2.5. Because they weren't sure what to do with that 0, so they just ignored it and put 2.5. Well, if you had multiplied 2.5 times 7, multiplied to check, you would have seen that our answer is not the same, right? So please always remember to multiply to check. So let's write in our answer. Each piece of rope was 2.05 inches long. Don't forget to answer. Did you get this correct? If not, what mistake did you make? You're probably going to put, I didn't know what to do when 7 could not go into 3. And that's okay now. And that really is my fault for not giving you more examples of like that. So I'm glad there was a checkpoint question that allowed us to address that. Okay, let's move on to number 4.